Now we're joined by a man keeping a very close eye on the race, the always provocative billionaire Donald Trump, also the author of Time to Get Tough, Making America #1 Again. Thanks for coming back in.
Good morning.
Boy, it looks like Romney's heading for a pretty big win today. Is that enough to convince you he's the one?
Well, I think a lot of people are saying right now he's the one, but they have a long way to go. He did great in the debates, George, really great. I mean, that was the catalyst. And, I'm very impressed with the way he's doing. I was in Florida, as you were, a couple of days ago, and the ads are brutal. I mean, the ads are just...
Too brutal?
Well, they're very tough. I mean, they're very tough. No, I don't think too brutal. He wants to win.
And, but what's holding you back from endorsing Mitt Romney at this point? I thought you were moving in that direction.
Well, I'm friendly with both. I respect both. I like both. And we'll see what happens. But in a very short period of time, I'll be making an endorsement. They both want my endorsement. We'll see what happens. But in a very short time, I'll be making an endorsement.
Today?
Not today.
Not today.
Not right now.
There's one thing. I got to try.
That's a very good try.
Not bad. One thing we've seen, we have a new ABC News poll out this morning showing that both candidates, that this might be taking a toll of the campaign on each of them. It's about how voters view their work experience. Romney in the private sector, Gingrich as a Washington consultant. Unfavorable views of both their private sector backgrounds given this campaign. That is something that President Obama, will really target in a general election.
Well, but he's got plenty of things to be targeted also. I think that he's going to be very vulnerable if you look at unemployment, if you look at what's going on with the economy, which is terrible, if you look at what's happening with other nations just ripping us off and laughing at us like we're a bunch of dummies. So he's got plenty to worry about. But the fact is that they are hurting themselves. They are bringing up the negative rating, and that's bad. But they're also talking about the Republicans, and the more they talk and the longer they talk. If you remember when McCain won last time, there was like dead silence for 4 months because he won early. There's not a lot of silence right now.
Not at all. Do you think Newt Gingrich should stay in even if he loses big in Florida?
That's really going to be up to him. I mean, he must know something, but this could be a big win for Mitt Romney today. We'll see what happens, but I don't think he's going to be dropping out so fast, Gingrich.
As you know, the Obama campaign is poised to really attack Mitt Romney on the issue of Bain Capital, on Swiss bank accounts, Cayman Island investments. How big a problem is this for Romney, and how would you advise him to fight back against that?
Well, I think he's starting to. I think he showed that in the last 2 debates. He's starting to be proud of what he did. He was a little bit defensive at one point, and now he's out there saying, look, I created thousands of jobs. I've done a great job. I'm the one that can do it. If you look at Obama, he did nothing before he became a senator. I mean, nobody knew him. Nobody heard of him. I mean, he came from nowhere.
State senator, that's right. But the president also clearly signaling in his State of the Union address that he's going to make the issue of taxes, make an issue out of taxes. He had this Buffett rule. Everyone pays 30%. What do you think of that?
Well, the biggest problem is, what are they doing with our money? Where is it going? Why can't they cut expenses? They have trillions of dollars of waste, it's been proven, and they can't even get together in a committee and cut expenses. So they really have to know, for people to want to pay tax, they want to know where is that money going and how is it being squandered or spent wisely. And right now it's being squandered.
Do you pay 30%?
I pay a lot of tax, I can tell you that. I paid a lot of tax. I wrote a very big check.
How about your rate?
I don't know what my rate is, but it was substantial, but I paid a lot of tax.
Let me ask you about this race. You say you're going to endorse someone very shortly. That means you will not run as a third-party candidate?
Well, I'll see what happens. If I endorse somebody and that person wins the nomination, certainly I'm not running. But look, I want to see what's good for this country. As you know, I'm not allowed to run because of a ridiculous law that if you have a show, you can't run. And I have The Apprentice, so I can't run. So I don't really have that option until May. In May, I'm allowed.
It's too late by May. You can't
no,
get on
as
the
an
ballot
independent.
in 50 states.
No. As an independent, it's not too late at all. As an independent, it wouldn't be too late.
How do you get on the ballot?
It'd be very easy. I mean, there's a lot of ways, and maybe there's work going on right now.
Would you join this group of Americans elect who already has gathered the signatures?
Well, it's another option. I mean, they've gathered not for all states, but certainly that would be another option. And I was #1 in the polls for independent people, for people wanting to choose an independent candidate. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I can't do much about it until the show ends.
But your counsel, Michael Cohen, is talking to people about how to set something up.
Well, he probably is. Knowing Michael, I wouldn't be surprised.
First things first, an endorsement coming shortly.
I would like to see, #1, I'd rather endorse. I'd rather endorse a great candidate that's going to do a great job, win the election, and become a great president. That would be #1 option for me.
Donald Trump, thanks very much.
Thank you.